Hi guys, it's Erin. I'm back to share with you mistake number 4 that I see candidates making on the CPA exam time and time again. This mistake has to do more with your preparation and how you go about studying for the CPA exam. The mistake is not having clear performance measures. In other words, how do we measure whether or not your study approach is working for you? One of the most common things that I hear from people is, well, I thought I was doing a good job and then I got my score and I didn't pass, so I guess it wasn't working. In my opinion, you should never be unsure going into the CPA exam. You should feel at least, 65% sure, if we were going to put a number on it, that you've got a really good chance of passing before you go into the exam. Now, how are you going to do that? Of course, there's always uncertainty, right? We never know what's going to be asked on that test. We don't know, and we can't control any of the outside factors like how you're feeling or the conditions of the room. And there's a lot of different things that we can't control, but this is one of the factors that we can control, and so we should. So we want to be measuring your progress as you're going through the material, as you're progressing through the content in preparing for the exam. We want to be checking in to see, is this effective? Am I making progress? Are my scores improving? And am I getting to that threshold that makes me feel more confident that I'm going to be able to pass this exam? So one way that I encourage my clients to do that is to periodically be quizzing themselves. Now, this is a little counterintuitive because I know there's a lot of joy that comes from moving forward, crossing another thing off the list, cruising through this material at a fast pace and earning the green check marks and all of it. I totally understand. So it's a bit counterintuitive to pause, to slow your momentum a little bit and to do some review sessions. That may look in like a set of multiple choice questions. That could look like simulations, just quizzing yourself to see if that information is being retained. Once you're confident that you're retaining that information, you can move on to the next section. Now, I recommend doing this after you've covered a good chunk of the material because you don't need to do a review right after you've covered the first chapter. It's fresh in your mind already. But periodically quizzing yourself to make sure that you're retaining information serves a couple of other benefits as well. One, it keeps information fresh. It can also highlight areas that you need to come back to during your review if you find that you haven't, in fact, retained it. And it gives you more practice on areas that you are struggling with. And sometimes practice is what it really takes. So what we want to be doing is feeling comfortable and having the information so that you know going into the exam, you're pretty well prepared. Again, we never know what's going to happen. There is no magic approach. I know the prep programs typically recommend that you be scoring in the mid 80s or 90s to feel really confident about passing, and that's definitely a measure too, so something you should be targeting. But for some people, that's not where they're scoring. But if you're scoring in the 50s, you probably need to change up your approach. So moral of the story is be tracking your progress. Make sure that your scores are improving. And if they're not, seek some resources. Send us a message. We'll be happy to chat with you about your approach and see if there's something better we could be doing. Perhaps seek out a tutor. If there are sections of the content that you're just not comfortable with, that you need a different explanation, there are resources available to you. But don't let your score on the exam be the first indicator of whether or not your preparation was working for you. I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you on a future tip. What's going on, everybody? If you liked that video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos just like that. We'll be sharing lots of tips and tricks designed to help you crush it on exam day.